Hey guys, Drutter here. It's the 14th of January 2014. This video is going to be mostly about silver, and this is a daily silver chart going back to October of 2013. And as you can see, we've been in a ranging pattern here for the past more than 2 months anyway, since that drop down below 21. We haven't been above $21 in quite some time. I guess you're aware of that. But it did break down here to $19, and that was actually where I picked the bottom and said I'm going to make my token purchase. And I bought a couple ounces down there just to say that I did, and I thought that would be the bottom. Well, no, on New Year's Eve we had that strange move for about 10 seconds during the middle of the night. It went down a couple of cents below there, so officially my pick was a bad pick, but you know, I don't think a lot of people managed to really buy at that point there either. What this chart says to me anyhow is that we've been in a range from about 19 to 20 or maybe $20.50 for the past quite some time, and we just broke above that today. Earlier in the day we went up to $20.60, so it hadn't been at that point in at least 2 months. So it's interesting to see that we broke down below the channel there, and then a couple of weeks later now we've broken above that channel there. So it looks like we may be starting to break out of that range pattern, although if it comes back down into the 19s again here and sits there for another week, then I guess we have recaptured that trading channel. But we're going to have to keep a look at it. It does point to possibly increased volatility coming over the next couple of weeks. So is that going to be a move up, or is that going to be a move down? We can go back on the weekly chart a little bit. That's a little bit too far. We can go back there and look at the charts since QE4 was announced, right there at $35. And as you can see, the downtrend is not necessarily over. We've hit the bottom here at 18 and bounced up and then hit it again here at 19, and now we're sitting at 20. That doesn't mean that it can't move lower. Go back a little further and go back like a couple of years and have a look at that. It shows that the downtrend can still go. Can it keep going down, you know, into the teens? Can it go down to 15 bucks? Can it go down to 12? Well, let's talk about that. I'm going to put a link down below and you can have a look yourself. I haven't read every word on this, but I have looked at the most interesting stuff to me anyhow, and it's near the bottom. And this is a mining company called Fortuna. Fortuna reports 2013 record production of 5.9 million silver equivalent ounces and issues guidance for 2014. I've skimmed it. There's some interesting information, but like I said, the interesting stuff for me is really at the bottom. And it talks about, they have 3 different mines: San Jose, Cayoma, I think it says, and 3 different indexes here, but it shows the all-in sustaining cash cost of 1 ounce of silver. And that's not a minted coin, that is just a blob. So it looks like around $16 is the price that this company can pull an ounce of silver out of the ground and bring it to a marketable situation. So what that tells me is that if the silver spot price, which is not really related to the physical silver price, but these companies have to operate with that silver spot price, it's just how things work right now. If that price can come down into the teens, then this company is going to be looking at closing up their mines. And a lot of other companies are going to be looking at closing up their mines as well. Because, you know, if you can only get, say, 15 bucks for your silver that you've mined, and it's costing you 16 or 17 to get it out of the ground, then you just can't continue in operations. You have to lay off all your people, close up your mine, and that's very costly. And they don't like doing that, but that's what happens to mines. I mean, there's mines out there that have this cost that I'm showing you here in the 20s or in the 30s even. There's lots of mines out there. There's mines out there that can bring an ounce of silver out of the ground for 60 bucks, but of course it's never gotten to that price, so those mines are currently not open. Probably have never been opened. But these mines are in danger of closing here, and what happens when those mines close is a further reduction in the supply of silver bullion that can come to market, which exacerbates the situation of the silver shortage, which unfortunately now looks like it's beginning to unfold. This is a link sent to me by a viewer. Thank you, by the way, for those people who have sent me links. I can't thank everybody individually, although I did respond with a private message and say thanks, but I can't name everybody all the time. There's just so many links that are sent to me, and I pick and choose what I think is most pertinent to bring to all my other viewers. So this is an important one here. It's from coinnews.net, and of course the link is down below, and it's titled 2014 American Silver Eagles Limited in Sales Start. And this actually is from yesterday, and I'll read a few of the key parts. With the supply of silver blanks strained, quantities of 2014 dated American Silver Eagles from the U.S. Mint will remain limited as sales of the bullion coins kick off today, January 13th. Blanks are the round metal discs needed to make the 99.9% pure silver coins. The Bureau this year will continue its allocation program, which limits how many Silver Eagles its authorized dealers can buy. You know, that's a problem to me, because the American public and the general public of the world, I think, deserves to be able to purchase silver bullion and get their hands on real money and get out of fiat dollars if they choose to do so. And that's even written into the Constitution and the Coinage Act and a lot of other legislation. So the mint, the government, needs to be offering silver bullion in sufficient quantities for its citizens, and it's not doing that, and it hasn't been doing that for several years now. And as we know, they like to hide and obfuscate and delay reporting their data. We've been on top of that all of 2013. And I imagine they're going to continue with that this year. But even more importantly, there's this allocation, which means that it's essentially saying that it's a limitation. It's not an allocation, it's a limitation. They're limiting the amount of silver they ship out to their authorized dealers. And there's only so many authorized dealers in the country. I think there's maybe 20 or 30. It's a really small number. You know, each major city has one, kind of thing, or two maybe. But you know, there's very few of these authorized dealers, and these dealers buy in $1 million increments. They can't buy in small amounts. Estimating about 3.5 million will be available for allocation this week, and noting, quote, allocated quantities for the following week will be much lower. So they're saying that they're going to initially have about 3.5 million available, and then the following week there's going to be, well, much lower. So what's that, maybe 1 or 2 million? And, you know, so we may not get to that record 7 million Eagle coins this January as we did last January. And last January, of course, was the record January of all time, with about 7 or a little bit more than 7 million ounces. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to get that because of this allocation this year, which basically means limitation. They just don't have it, although they don't like to say it in quite those words. And then it says here, Coin News Update. Later on Monday, the U.S. Mint provided the first day 2014 Silver Eagle sales total, and it also specified the exact weekly allocation amount. It said first day sales reached 3.2 approximately million from the weekly allocation of 3.5 approximately coins. And the next paragraph, it says the United States Mint now has the capability to fulfill demand, apparently, so they say, but the limited supply of silver blanks has kept allocation alive, kept limitation alive. The Bureau does not manufacture silver blanks like it does for nickels, dimes, and quarters. They're purchased from a select group of vendors who are rationing how many they sell. So the limitation seems to be coming not from the mint, or at least they're passing the buck and saying it's not them. They're saying it's coming from Sunshine Minting, that's a private minting company, and other vendors, and it may help free the mint from its allocation program with the addition of a new production facility. So they're acting like they didn't know that there was going to be demand for silver this year. What? Sunshine Minting then said here, at every opportunity we've tried to give a little more output to the U.S. government as they have asked for it. All of the blank makers, not just us, have had to allocate their product among customers, including the U.S. Mint. With our added capacity, we can increase our allocations. Well, that's a nice promise, but where's the silver? Bring it out. We need it. It's, you know, there's people out there wanting to buy it, wanting to get rid of their fiat dollars and turn it into something real, and they're not being able to. So that's not okay. That's not cool. Power said they have gone from an output of 1.2 to 1.3 million. You know, come on. We need a lot more than that. And this is known, this has been known. The amount of demand for silver that there is this year has been known. I've been graphing it, and we have said, last year we said, U.S. Mint, make sure you have enough silver to meet demand, because it's going to be huge. Of course, they don't watch my channel. I'm just saying everyone knows this. And the US Mint is now acting like, oh, geez, there's a lot of demand for this. But don't worry, it's not our fault, it's their fault. And then when you ask them, they say, it's not our fault, it's the mine's fault. There's just not enough coming out of the mines. There's also some other useful information if you're interested in this topic about the demand and the supply of these coins. I'll just leave the link down below for you to read, but there's some interesting stuff in here saying that the mint only charges $2, well, should I say only, they charge $2 per coin above spot price to their vendors and their dealers, and then those dealers will pass on that price plus a little markup for themselves to the, you know, regional dealers, and then those guys will pass on that price with a bit of markup to the smaller stores, the bullion stores and the coin shops and wherever else, and then they have to mark it up so that they can sell it to the public. So with $2 already built in profit for the US government on every ounce sold, you know, how many ounces were sold last year? 40 million ounces, right? So that's $80 million profit just on providing silver bullion to the public, which actually is their constitutional right. It says down here that bullion and coin dealers are currently pre-selling 2014 American Silver Eagles for $350 to $550 over spot. So yeah, there is a shortage of silver. It does seem to be different than last year. Last year they were saying that they just didn't have the printing presses, or the minting presses, I guess you could say, to mint all these coins. They said, oh, don't worry, there's lots of silver. There's tons of silver. It's just that we don't have enough production capacity, and now they're saying, well, yeah, we have enough production capacity, but there's just no silver. One thing I want to say about silver shortages, actually I have a good video on silver shortages, and I'll put it down below as well, and you can look at that if you're interested. I'm not going to go into the whole thing here, but one thing I want to say about this silver shortage, which does look like it is shaping up now, and I think will intensify if the price either drops or goes up. Really the best case scenario for the government and for the mints is for the price to stay pretty much flat here at $20, because when the price is flat it keeps demand kind of low, because there's not a lot of talk about the price moving and stuff like that. But if the price does move quite a bit, I think we're going to see an intensification of this already developing silver shortage. And what I want to say about it is, don't panic, don't get caught up in it. These shortages never last forever, well, until they do, I guess, but you know, we've seen several of them over the years. They develop and premiums go up and rumors circulate that there's no more silver on the planet and stuff like that. There's still silver. It's having trouble getting to market, obviously. There's far higher demand than there is actual silver out there, so this can't go on forever. The price does have to come up, at least the physical price does. But they can keep that ETF price, that SLV price, down in the 20s, or even drop it even further if they really want to. And there's nothing really that we can do about that. Just don't get too caught up in it. Don't get yourself into a panic buying situation where you see the price going up, or you hear about the shortages and you say, you know, I gotta have it now, I gotta get it. Just, if you have your core position in metal or whatever, hang on to that. If you're looking at picking something up and you can find it for a good premium and a good deal, then go ahead, but don't get too caught up in this. We've seen it before and we'll probably see it again. Just briefly, this is a little graphic that I slapped together. It's actually taken from the Shadowstats.com website, but they don't like people to show their stuff directly, so I put together this graphic which represents the same data. It's just my own graphic. And as you can see, that is the official unemployment there in red, showing that it rose from about 5% up to about 10% and has now returned back down toward 6% or so over the course of the global financial meltdown. And in dark blue there, that is the same numbers, except calculated the way that we have always calculated unemployment, going right back to the first Great Depression. And during that first Great Depression, unemployment measured this way reached about 24 to 25% from my research. So if you look at it there, it does look like we are at 24 to 25%. So we are essentially at the same level of unemployment that we were during the first Great Depression. It's just that the media is reporting that there's almost no unemployment whatsoever, and everyone who wants a job is fully employed. This is Davinci, also known on YouTube as Davinci J15, and he's a longtime friend of mine now. And I think a lot of people on my channel know of him or know him, and he's not super active on YouTube lately. since some changes in his life, but he has moved down to Chile. He's still there. He called me today, and he's doing really well. I don't want to give any details, but he is in Chile. He is enjoying himself. He's still trying to learn Spanish, and, well, he's doing well anyway. If you aren't aware of Davinci, I'll put a link to his channel down below. He's actually one of the people that helped me get into silver in the first place. He's a Canadian guy, and I found him on YouTube when I was sort of waking up and doing a lot of research back in 2008 and early 2009. And he is quite a genuine guy, and he is someone that was advocating for silver and informing people about silver when it was about $10 an ounce. And he is also the guy who was advocating for Bitcoin and telling people about Bitcoin when it was about $1. And as you know, it's now about $1,000. So Davinci was right, and not a lot of people have really come out and said that, but Davinci was right, and he was right about a couple of different things. And I just wanted to post a little bit of an update on him, say hi to him, and just let everyone know, yeah, he is doing well. Let's move on and do some silver porn. Oh baby, there it is. Now, if you're new to this channel, what silver porn is aesthetically pleasing silver coins and bars and other silver things, and it's sort of a term that I coined back in 2009 when I first started my channel. And the channel started out mostly as entertainment, kind of half opinion, half entertainment, and I wasn't really into anything else regarding silver. But when I first got into it, I got into the whole silver porn thing, and it kind of caught on. It's not as popular these days. Everyone's seen silver, everyone knows what it looks like. But from time to time, I do like to bring out a few coins and just flash them in front of the camera. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in a separate video right after this one. And I'm going to do it in high def with my other camera. There won't be any sound. That camera's mic is not quite right. But anyhow, this is the 2013 25th anniversary silver maple. I've briefly shown it before, so you've seen that one. This I got from a friend, and it came today. He is in Japan, and obviously this is a Japanese coin. I don't know too much about it, and none of the symbols really make all that much sense to me. I do know that it is a 50 sen, not cent, sen, S-E-N coin. I think sen is like the breakdown of the yen, but then again, I'm not 100% sure on that. And you'll be able to see it better in high def, so I'll show it there. But I think it's from the early 1900s, and it is an 80% silver coin, 20% copper. And this one is something nice. Oops. I haven't shown this on this channel before. This is the 2014 maple, and as you can see, there is a different look to it. You see the field behind the maple and the field behind the ugly beast on this side. I don't know if you can see it. In the high def version you will, though. The field behind the maple has a series of radiating lines outward, and no, I don't think you can see that, but it also has a privy mark there on the bottom right hand side of the maple, a small miniature maple, and these are anti-counterfeiting measures, so these are pretty nice coins in my opinion. All the 2014s and beyond are going to be done like that. And this one, last but not least, this is the 2014 $8, you can see there, $8 face value, 1.5 ounce, 9999 fox. Probably an Arctic fox, I don't know, it doesn't say on there, but anyhow, that's a cute little fox, and it's a cute little coin, nice and thick. It's obviously 50% thicker than a 1 ounce coin, but otherwise they are the same diameter. And I picked that up for just under 50 bucks today, and I will be having those available, not on my website, but if you're interested, I'll put my website link down below, and you can use my contact me form on that website to get a hold of me if you're interested in any of these coins. I don't really talk about my website that much anymore. It's just kind of, I keep it up for my regulars and for a few friends that like to buy silver from me. I just charge them what it costs me to do it. But if you're interested, you can get some of that stuff from me. And that's about it. So I'm going to upload a short video that shows each of these coins in higher detail and higher definition with a little bit of background music. That's it for now. Talk to you soon.